Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
Masters table. Masters table.
Racism, white supremacy is a dynamic system for the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival on the planet. White supremacy.
You are in an evil system, a system that is designed deliberately to produce evil thoughts, to produce animosity, to produce violence.
Introduction to African civilizations and man-garden civilization.
Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
We dedicate lives to the study of history.
They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation.
The right way is clearly distinct from error.
Racism is a competitive relationship between groups of people who are competing for the ownership and control of resources, wealth, and power.
Masters table.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.
Man, here we go. Peace, family, peace. I'm here. Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love, the God Cast. I am the God Sincere Love. And yeah, man, it's a hot one, man. It's a hot one, of course. Can y'all hear me good? Can y'all hear me? Let me make sure my mic and everything is good. Can y'all hear me? Make sure it's no echoes or no weird feedback or nothing like that, man. Oh, man, peace. What's going on, brother Ish? Maxwell Jenkins in the building. Appreciate y'all. Brother Ish said he got my full attention now. He's in there with the greats with this. And that's what we are here to discuss, man. The topic that the entire internet is discussing right now. Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. We are in the middle of a monumental rap battle right now. This is one for the ages. That's how I feel about it, at least. This is one for the ages, family. I'm still a big kid when it comes to hip hop. I'm still a rap nerd. I'm still into it the same way I was. I have not grown out of it and got over it. This is a big deal to me. I am a fan of both artists, all artists that are involved, because it's not just Kendrick and Drake. There are other artists involved as well. And really, I like everybody. There's nobody that I think is trash or I dislike their music or whatever the case may be that's involved with this. I'm a big fan of Rick Ross. He's one of my favorites of this era. He drops, some dope music, some classic albums. His production is always stellar. He's a top tier lyricist, in my opinion. Drake, I like his music. I don't like all his stuff. Drake makes all different type of music for different type of crowds. And so, of course, some of the stuff that he makes doesn't necessarily cater to me and my taste, but he does have stuff that I like as well. You know what I'm saying? There's certain parts of Drake that I fuck with, that I rock with heavy. And so I'm a fan of Drake. I'm absolutely a fan of Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is definitely one of the greatest, if not the greatest, of his era. And what I've been feeling now, I already been deep into Kendrick Lamar. But since all of this has been going on, I have been also rediscovering Kendrick Lamar and taking and grow and having developing a deeper appreciation for Kendrick Lamar than what I already had. And so I'm feeling like Kendrick Lamar, not only one of the greatest of his era, but Kendrick Lamar is really one of the greatest of all time. For real, in my opinion. And it's not just because of this battle, although this battle is what sparked me going down somewhat of a rabbit hole with Kendrick Lamar, in particular with his most recent album, Mr. Morale, and the Big Steppers album. For the past couple of weeks, since this whole battle thing been going on, I've been listening to that album a lot and taking a real deep dive into that album. And I was able to listen to it, and I think in a setting where I was really able to peel the layers back and appreciate it for what it was really, really worth. I already liked it previously. It was already an album that I liked. I thought it was dope, but I didn't take a deep enough dive to appreciate it the way that it really needs to be appreciated. So for the past few days, man, I've been after I drop my son off at school in the morning, I've been hitting the parks and walking on the nature trails and all of that, taking 3 to 5 mile walks every morning and listening to that album while I'm by myself out there walking through the woods in nature and just having that time with my own thoughts, listening to that album, and really discovered the brilliance and the genius that I had previously overlooked. Even though like I said, I did like the album, but I had no idea the degree of difficulty that was executed on that album. It's brilliant, man. It's on par. It's on par with Pimp a Butterfly, if not maybe even a slight step higher than To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't know. I haven't settled on how I actually feel and where I really want to rank it at, but it's up there now. It's definitely up there now. And so I want to come on here, man, to talk about this whole battle situation and give my take on how everything has been going down since it all started, the blow by blows of everything, and really talk about where I've been at with this somewhat of an emotional roller coaster that has been taking place. Now, I wouldn't really call it an emotional roller coaster because it wasn't so much that, but there has been a back and forth, sort of a pendulum swing type of thing that's been taking place with these guys trading blows with each other. And, I've felt different ways as things have developed. I've had different stances on what's what as things has developed with this battle. And so that's what we here to talk about tonight. So peace to the family. I appreciate y'all joining me. As y'all coming in here, man, please do me a favor and hit the like button. When you hit the like button, it helps to boost this video into the algorithm, and it helps to make sure that people who are subscribed to this channel will indeed get a chance to see the video. And that's if you're watching me from YouTube. Some of y'all might be tuning in from Facebook as well. Shout out to the Facebook family. Y'all can hit the like button over there as well and reshare this on your profile to let everybody know that I'm live right now. Also, the YouTubers, share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that I'm live right now. If you're not already subscribed to me on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new content. Shout out to Mama Love in the building. Shout out to my bro Just in the building. I see you, King. YJ the author. Peace, peace, peace. Appreciate you being here. I don't recognize that name. If you're a first-time listener, welcome. Definitely make sure that you subscribe to the channel and all of that. Me and my sister Nicely Girl usually here doing Sincere Love the Godcast on Sundays. We talk about current events and other important topics as they pertain to what's going on in Black society. Also, we got the Black Business Showcase, which we usually do on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we bring on business owners and entrepreneurs and chop up game with them about whatever particular industry they might be into, and we get a lot of good game, and well as shouting out these businesses and let people know what Black businesses are out there and how we can support them and things of that nature. So if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner and you would like to have your business showcased on our channel, please hit me up. Send us an email at godcastenterprises@gmail.com. That's godcastenterprises@gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know what you got going on so we can see about getting you on the schedule for the Black Business Showcase. You can also hit me up on the DM. I'm at Sincere Love the God on all social media platforms. And yeah, we'll take it from there to see what you got going on. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. See the FBA flag in the back. Salute, salute, salute. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So yeah, man. About an hour or so ago, I think it might have been less than an hour ago, not too long ago, Kendrick Lamar just released another diss track for the second time today. Well, I think the other one dropped last night. The most recent one, it's hard to keep up now, man. These guys is going in. The most recent one is called Not Like Us. So I don't know if everybody got a chance to hear that one yet. The most recent one that was released, how long ago was that joint released? I don't even think it was an hour ago. Maybe an hour or so ago. Not Like Us. And at this point, man, it's really overkill because I had it over after 616. So within the last 48 hours? Within the last 24 to 48 hours, we got 616 from Kendrick. We got Family Matters from Drake. And then we got Meet the Grams, which was the ether shot, in my opinion. That was the real ether right there. I mean, like I said, it was already over for me after 616. And Drake tried to keep it interesting, you know what I'm saying, with the Family Matters joint. But right after he dropped Family Matters, K-Dot came through with Meet the Grams, which, like I said, was the ether. I had to throw the ether shirt on for today's broadcast, man. That ether, that shit that make your soul burn slow. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's what Meet the Grams was like. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. And we're going to get into that. But after that, even after that, he came back again and dropped Not Like Us. So Not Like Us is out there now for those who haven't heard that one yet. Y'all got to go check that one out. Yeah, man, Meet the Grams was sinister. You didn't even hear Meet the Grams yet. Oh, man. Oh, man. This nigga said Kenny smoking on that Canadian pack. Listen, it's ugly. It's ugly, man. But I'm loving it, man. It's a great time to be alive if you a nigga like me. If you're a nigga like me, man, it's a great time to be alive right now when it comes to what's being offered from the entertainment sector. Now, I know, you know what I'm saying, as Black people, we have a tendency, like Professor Black Truth always reminds us to oversample when it comes to entertainment. And so we do have to always keep it in perspective and kind of compartmentalize things. But me, I pride myself, and I know this is not for everybody, but I pride myself on being able to compartmentalize and walk and chew bubble gum. You know what I'm saying? Meaning I'm able to focus on more serious matters and while consuming the entertainment that I love to consume as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not distracted by the entertainment, so to speak. I'm not overly consumed by the entertainment where I think that's the most important thing that's happening in the world. And you know what I'm saying? I pride myself on being able to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time when it comes to that. But I do know that as a group, that is something that we need to work on. That is definitely something that we have a problem with, and it is something that we need to work on as a group. You understand what I'm saying? And so we can have fun with this whole battle thing. And like I said, any other form of entertainment that you might be into, or whatever the case may be. Because right now, like I said, it's a great time to be alive for me because the boxing world is very exciting. A lot of great fights been taking place recently that I've been enjoying. A lot of good fights coming up real soon that I'm looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm excited about what's going on in the boxing world. The NBA playoffs is kind of hot so far. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as big of an NBA fan as I used to be when I was growing up, but I still like basketball, and I watch the postseason. I like to watch the playoffs and the championship and all that stuff. And I like what I'm seeing out there right now, even though my Lakers got eliminated. What's going on, okay? Peace, peace, peace. Oh, you want to say peace to the family?
Hi guys.
Y'all say peace to Seven, man. It's the God Seven. Hey, Rule. What's up, man? You want to say anything? They can hear you. The mic is right here. Oh, okay.
So, you got this book, Seven the Superhero Rule. Seven's Big Move. You could get it on GodcastEnterprises.com. And 2 and 3 are coming out as well as an activity book. So be ready for that.
So let them know where they can get the book at.
I told you, GodcastEnterprises.com.
GodcastBooks.com.
Oh yeah, GodcastBooks.com. And also, if you like it, then follow my Instagram page, Seven the Superhero. It's got a bunch of stuff like math, science, all that stuff. And if you have kids, you should probably show it to them.
There you go. Appreciate that. And so that was a word from our sponsor. A little commercial break right there. That was a word from our sponsor. You guys make sure you go to www.godcastbooks.com and get the first volume of our children's book, Seven's Big Move. And like he said, volume 2 and 3 are in the works, as well as an activity book. So y'all can look forward to us releasing those this summer. So yeah, that was our little commercial break. Let me turn this fan on because it's a little hot in here. Hold on a second. Turn this fan on. Yeah. All right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm surprised he took a break from his game. He's over there playing the game. He took a break from his game to come over here and do a little promo drop real quick. I'm surprised. I might have to give him a little treat for that. Oh. He said the only reason I did that because I had to let my computer charge. The world is sensitive. Hop, keep winning. Let's go. Please do not let the world make you feel like we mad at each other. No doubt. And so, yeah, we're gonna get into all of this, man. I guess I might as well start from, well, I can't say the beginning because this has been going on for a long time. These guys have been taking shots at each other, throwing subs at each other for years now. But I'm just gonna go back to the beginning of this segment, you know what I mean, where the battle really popped off, beginning with the Like That verse. And so Future and Metro Boomin dropped the album last month. I believe it was like last month, like early April or something like that. They dropped that album, and the single off there was a song called Like That. And it secretly featured Kendrick Lamar, where he took the first shots in this war right here. You know what I mean? Most of y'all watching this, y'all already know that Like That verse came out. He took shots at Drake. He took shots at J. Cole. And to me, and I don't know, me and my son was just talking about this on the phone. I guess people feel different ways about why this is happening, why Kendrick decided to set it off like he did. To me, I just felt like Kendrick was doing this for the sport of it for the most part. Like on the first person shooter song with Drake and J. Cole, as we now know, they wanted Kendrick to be on the song. Kendrick, for whatever reason, he declined to be on the song. But J. Cole was kind of bigging him up on the song by including him in the big three. You know, we the big three, like we play for the league or whatever he said. But right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. According to my son Zelo feels like Drake was actually taking shots at Kendrick on that song. I didn't catch the shots. If he was taking shots, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I didn't catch the shots if he was taking shots. I felt like they was kind of giving Kendrick Lamar props on that song by including him in the big three. And it was kind of like a celebratory thing of saying, you know, we all great at the same time. We all three goats of this shit, blah, 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 blah. And I felt like Kendrick was just on some, nah, I ain't trying to share the throne with y'all niggas. I ain't trying to share the crown with y'all niggas. I want to be the best. I'm here for the legacy of this shit. I take the art of rapping extremely seriously. I worked hard at my craft to develop the skill level that I have, and I want to be appreciated for it. I want to be known as the best. I don't want to share being the best with y'all niggas. We might be cool or whatever, but nah, when it comes to this legacy and who was the best that did it, when it's all said and done, I want to be known as that guy. And so I felt like that's what he was doing. For the sport of it, he like, nah, we're going to have to battle it out. Okay, it's out of us three, then we're going to see which one is the last one standing. We're going to have to battle this thing out. And so I feel like that's why he went in on like that and took the shots that he took. And also, obviously, it's obvious at this point that he was prepared for whatever. He understood that there was a few different ways that it could go, and he was absolutely prepared for whatever. And so after that, y'all already know J. Cole was the first one to respond. He immediately rescinded on his response. It was a pretty good response, in my opinion. I thought it was a cool, like, warning shot that he threw out there. Had me doing the Birdman hand rub, like, oh, we about to get a good battle here. Especially me thinking it was going to be, you know, Kendrick and J. Cole going head to head. I knew we was going to get some Aubrey action as well. A lot of people were sleeping on Aubrey at that point, saying, nah, Drake, sit down. You stay out of this. We want Cole and Kendrick. I feel like that was the general consensus at that point. Like, everybody was like, Drake, sit your ass down somewhere. We want to see Cole and Kendrick go at it. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, I was letting people know, like, nah, don't sleep on Drake. Drake gonna come with some shit now. Drake ain't gonna just take that and lay down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Drake is with the shits. But J. Cole responded on his album. His album was already scheduled to come out. It was like the perfect timing for him. So he dropped the album, and the last song on there was the diss track. I forgot what it was called right now. Y'all can help me out in the chat. What was the name of J. Cole's diss track again? The 7-minute drill. The 7-minute drill. And so he had a show like a couple of nights after that, and he immediately apologized. He took it off the streaming services and all of that, and he basically gracefully bowed out. And the hip-hop fans were torn about that. Hip-hop fans were torn. I'm just putting everything in context. I know y'all know a lot of this or whatever. I'm going to get caught up to everything that's going on and give, you know, my takes on everything. But I just want to give the full breakdown of everything because I haven't really had the chance to do that yet. I've been posting things on social media. I went live one time on Instagram to talk about what was going on and stuff like that. But I haven't had the chance to really give my full breakdown and analysis on everything that's been going on, blow for blow. And I'm not going to be dissecting a lot of the lyrics here. A lot of people are doing that on social media brilliantly, might I add. And I thank the internet to a certain degree for helping me out with interpreting some of the stuff that's going on. So I'm not going to be unpacking a lot of the lyrics and decoding a lot of the lyrics. There's a bunch of videos out there that's already doing that. You guys can have fun with that. But I do thank the internet for doing that too, because it's helping me to appreciate some of the lyrics even more, because even I'm not able to catch all of the bars because, number one, I don't know all of the little inside shit that's been happening, all of the little stories behind the scenes and who's smashing whose girl and who got their chain snatched by whoever. I don't know all of these little stories. So when they taking these little shots and alluding to certain things that took place over the years. I'm not catching all of it because I don't know about all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at dissecting the bars from a poetic standpoint and decoding the metaphors and the punchlines and the entendres and stuff like that. Just the technical aspect of rhyming, I'm good at breaking down, the wordplay and all of that. But a lot of the references I just wasn't keen to, and so I wouldn't be the expert on really unpacking and decoding all of the shots that they taking back and forth. You like that line? Nicely like that line. You are not a colleague, you're a fucking colonizer. Nicely like that line. Facts. No chatty patty over here. Shout out to Noah Randall. So yeah, where was I? Drake, Cole took back the 7-minute drill shit. Like I said, the hip hop world was torn about that. Some people felt like he should have never apologized. That was some weak shit. That was some soft shit for him to do. They didn't respect it. He's demoted from the big three. A lot of people felt that way. And then there was another side of the hip hop world, which I'm more a part of, even though I was disappointed to a certain degree because I did want to see a good battle. But the rest of us felt like we respected J. Cole's decision to gracefully bow out. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was like, as a man, I can only respect somebody going with their true feelings, with their true heart in any given situation. That's not an easy thing to do, to go against the crowd and go against popular opinion, to do what you really feel inside your heart. And I felt like Cole was on some like, man, I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar. The stuff that I'm saying in this track, I don't even really believe. So why am I even doing this? I'm doing this because of the pressure from the crowd. I'm doing this because of the pressure from my mans and them. But deep down inside, this ain't really what I want to do. And so I respected him for bowing out of it. Right? And so what did we get after that? What happened after that? What came next? It took a minute. Oh, okay. Everybody was waiting for Kendrick Lamar to respond. No, because Drake, after the J. Cole thing, I think what was next was Drake's push-ups, right? Am I missing something? Help me out, family. Help me out in the chat. I think push-ups came after that. I think that was the next shot that was fired. Was the drop and give me 50 joint, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the next thing, that was the next shot that was fired. And everybody in between there, by the way, there was a lot of baiting, like Drake was baiting niggas on social media and all that. Yeah, I believe it was the drop and give me 50 that came after that. And everybody was waiting for Kendrick Lamar to respond. In the meanwhile of people waiting for Kendrick Lamar to respond, because on the drop and give me 50, Drake wasn't only shooting at Kendrick Lamar, he fired back at Future, Metro Boomin, Rick Ross, Ja Morant got some of the smoke on that joint. I think ASAP Rocky, like he was going at everybody that he felt was against him on that joint. Yeah, give him 50. It was weird because Aubrey was concerned with Kenny's shoe size. So yeah, that was the thing that happened next. Right? And so when that happened, when that song dropped, I didn't think it was good enough. Now, I thought J. Cole's 7-minute drill was pretty good. I thought it was good enough to make it interesting. You know what I'm saying? As a warning shot. You know what I'm saying? All we got from Kendrick at that point was the verse from Like That. So I thought 7-minute drill was a good response to get the battle going. Drop and Give Me 50, the push-up song came out. My initial reaction was like, this ain't good enough right here. This is kind of weak. Actually, let me share this with y'all, because I think I got the receipts on my Instagram. So let me go here. Boom. Yes, here go right here. Here go right here. So this was my response when that joint came out. I don't know if y'all can read that depending on the screen that y'all looking at. But yeah, I retweeted the track. Hot 97 had posted it, and I retweeted the track. He was dissing Kendrick Lamar, Metro Boomin, Rick Ross, blah, blah, blah. And at that point, it was still kind of fuzzy because the song wasn't officially released. It was kind of a leak. People was thinking it was AI. It was a little bit of confusion out there. But when I heard it, I retweeted it and I said, this ain't good enough. K-Dot finna eat, and we might get some action from Rose. That was my initial tweet when the push-up song came out. And I'm sharing this with y'all because I need to put my receipts out there also, because a lot of people have been going back and forth with me. I know everybody been arguing about this battle online. You know, I'm not nobody special. I'm just saying the people that's on my timeline, there have been people going back and forth with me who disagreed with my stances here and there, who have been trying to put me in a box as a Drake stan. You know what I'm saying? Because from the beginning, I wasn't just dismissing Drake. I was giving Drake the benefit of the doubt. I was giving him his props where I felt like props were due. You know, and I think, you know, people that follow me, they know the type of content that I put out there as a conscious black man. They know my music. They know my style of rap that I do because I'm a lyricist, because, you know, I got consciousness in my bars and all of that. I think people automatically just expected me to give it to Kendrick Lamar automatically. And even though I like Kendrick Lamar more than I like Drake, it was never a question for me of who can rap better. I never thought that Drake could rap better than Kendrick Lamar, but that doesn't mean you automatically going to win the battle. That's a thing that a lot of people that don't understand. Just because you might be the superior lyricist does not guarantee you a win in a battle. Battling is more about strategy than it is about skill when it comes to rhyming. Just because you can rap better than me doesn't necessarily guarantee you a win against me in a battle. Y'all can ask Cannabis about that. When you think about the battle between LL and Cannabis, Cannabis is the superior lyricist in that scenario. Cannabis can wrap circles around LL Cool J. No disrespect to the GOAT. Just being real. Just from a technical standpoint, Cannabis is the better MC. He's the better lyricist. But he lost the battle to LL. Right? Same thing if you go back to the LL and Kool Moe Dee beef. Kool Moe Dee was viewed as the superior lyricist. But he lost the battle to LL also. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, just because you're a better MC, and I already knew that Kendrick was the better MC, but that didn't mean I was going to automatically give him the victory in the battle. You're going to have to win the battle, my nigga. So I was waiting to see what was going to happen, and I was calling it like I seen it as it was going along, and I was calling it fair on both sides. And in the middle of me doing that, people were trying to put me in a box as being a Drake stan. And so I'm just pulling up these receipts just to show that, no, that's not the case. I've been calling it like I've seen it the whole time. Let me see what y'all talking about over here. Kendrick thought drop and give me 50 meant giving Drake 50 diss records. Pretty much, right? Because this man ain't stopped. Yeah, he might have dropped another one since I went live. Got to have impact and delivery and flair. Right. Y'all get what I'm saying. Oh, Mama Love, I think you behind on the stream. I think Mama Love is behind on the stream. Experience plays a part. It's LL energy that has a lot to do with it as well. Yeah, but y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get my point about that whole thing. And that's even like in battle rap, like URL type battle rap, when it's head to head on stage. Just because I'm the better lyricist doesn't mean I'm a win in that scenario either. It's all about who captures the crowd in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Who's able to sway the crowd on their side, whether it's through comedy, whether it's through wittiness, whether it's just through timing, and or whatever the case may be. You got to win the crowd over in the moment. But being the better rapper, the better MC, the better lyricist doesn't guarantee you to win in the battle. And I think that's what people was just expecting. Like, come on, God, you saying you running with Drake? No, I was never running with Drake. I was just calling it fair, right? So when the Drake shit came out, I kept it a buck. This was Drake's response. Drop and give me 50. I kept it a buck. I said, nah, this ain't good enough. I said, K-Dot finna eat. Like, this ain't good enough, Drake. I was expecting more from Drake because I view Drake as a strategist and as a thinker and as being clever. We've seen him outthink and outmaneuver people in the past. Shout out Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, nah, Drake is pretty clever. And also he has a whole machine behind him where they're able to do research and dig up dirt on people and all of that shit. So I just wasn't sleeping on Drake and dismissing him from the beginning, right? I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. So up until this point, this is how I felt. I'm like, nah, okay, this was still the beginning of the battle. We had Like That. We had 7-minute drill. And then we got Drop and Give Me 50. So at that point, you know, Kendrick had the advantage. He threw the first shot. It was a good shot. And he had the advantage because that Drop and Give Me 50 shit wasn't enough, right? So after that, we still was waiting for Kendrick to respond. Kendrick hadn't responded yet. Rick Ross responded the same day. Rick Ross responded within 2 hours. Mr. FAB and Royce is another one. I didn't follow their battle. I didn't follow their battle, so I don't know about that. Sorry, y'all. I'm mad parched. But yeah, Rick Ross responded within an hour or two. And I like Rick Ross's response. Rick Ross, I like the way he responded. I like the war strategy that he is it employed or deployed? I think deployed. Because he was talking shit on the record. He had a little snippet with Drake on the record where Drake was saying that Rick Ross was his favorite. I think he did a show that same night and he was wearing the Drake hoodie. You know what I mean? He was clowning him about getting plastic surgery, talking about his nose and calling him white boy. He came out with the BBL Drizzy and all of the stuff that he was saying, the way that he was clowning him. That stuff matters in a battle. That's the way that 50 dealt with a lot of his battles. He didn't just try to out-bar niggas and try to just get on the mic and out-rap niggas. He assassinated their character in many different ways, trolling in all different type of ways. You know what I'm saying? And so Rick Ross, he was doing a little bit of that, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? So I told niggas, remember, on the tweet, I said, hold on, let me go back to the tweet. Hold on, not this one. Let me go back to the tweet. I said, K-Dot finna eat, and we might get some Rose action as well. Right? And so 2 hours later, Rose dropped. We got the Rose action right after that. Boom. All right, so that took place. We still waiting for Kendrick Lamar to respond. It was taking Kendrick Lamar a minute to respond. Social media was going crazy. Everybody's doing content, talking about the battle. A lot of people was giving Drake props. A lot of people was giving Drake his props. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was putting K-Dot on the clock. They said K-Dot got a certain amount of time to respond. We wasn't getting no response from K-Dot. So Drake does the Drake thing, and he goes back to back. He releases the tailor-made freestyle where he used the AI cloning technology to clone Tupac's voice and Snoop Dogg's voice, further baiting Kendrick Lamar to come out and play. He was like, nah, nigga, you started this shit. I'm here for it. I want the smoke. You gonna come outside and play. So now the use of the AI was another thing that split the internet in half. It split everything. It split the hip hop crowd in half because there was the side of people who felt like it was disrespectful for him to use Tupac's voice. There was people who were saying it was cheating by him using the AI, and that fed into the ghostwriting thing, and now you using AI. So people looked at that as him cheating and pretty much getting help. You know what I'm saying? And so there was a certain part of the internet, part of the hip hop world, who wasn't feeling that, who felt like, nah, that was a bad move. Again, I was not on that side of the crowd. This was the cleverness and the cunning that I was expecting from Drake. When I heard that, I'm like, now we have a battle. I respected the tailor-made freestyle. It was some nice shots thrown in there. And the use of the AI didn't bother me as a Tupac fan. You know what I'm saying? I love Pac. Pac been in my top 3 forever. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like it was disrespectful toward Pac. And I damn sure didn't feel like it was cheating. When I heard people saying that, I felt like people really don't understand how the AI thing works. Because, and I still feel like that. There's a lot of people that really don't understand how the AI thing works, right? That type of AI is a voice cloning AI. So I'm not going to get into the ghostwriting part right now, even though that does play a part in this whole battle thing. But on this part of the conversation, I'm not going to get into the whole ghostwriting thing. We're just going to assume that Drake has been writing his own rhymes in this battle. Okay. For the sake of conversation, we're just going to assume that Drake has been writing his own rhymes, his own verses within the confines of this battle. Right. And so with the AI thing, Drake still had to write the rhymes. He still had to go in the booth and spit the rhymes. Only thing he's doing is using the technology that's available to alter his voice to sound like Tupac because he's rhyming from Tupac's perspective. No different than when Kendrick Lamar was rhyming from Nipsey Hussle's perspective, and he used AI technology to alter his appearance in the video to look like Nipsey Hussle while he was rhyming from the perspective of Nipsey Hussle. No difference. It's technology. Only thing you're doing is using a filter to alter your voice. It's like Nas got a song on the Untitled, not the Untitled album, on the Streets Disciple album, the double album. He got a song called Sekou Story, and I forgot the other one. It's a part 1 and a part 2 to the songs. First one is called Sekou Story. The other one is called I think The Rest of My Life. Is it The Rest of My Life? I think that's what it's called. But anyway, there's a part 1 and a part 2 to these songs that's on Nas' album, where parts of those songs he's rhyming from the perspective of a female that's in the story. And the song says featuring Scarlett. When you read the credits on the song or the credits on the album, it says Sekou Story featuring Scarlett. The Rest of My Life, I think it was called The Rest of My Life, featuring Scarlett. But it's actually Nas who's rhyming on the song, but he used technology to alter his voice to make him sound like a woman because he was rhyming from the perspective of a woman. That's just being creative and using the technology that's available to you to convey exactly what you are trying to convey creatively. I didn't feel like what Drake did with the AI thing was any different than that. It's the same exact thing. It's just a new form of technology that's available. That's it. Some people didn't agree with that. That's the way I felt about it. That's the way I see it as a creative. That's not something that I would be against. That's not something that I wouldn't do if I had that idea and the technology available to me to do that. I thought it was dope. I thought it was a great use of AI, particularly the voice cloning AI. It was the best use of the voice cloning AI that I've seen so far, because you got people out there using voice cloning AI to make these songs to try to pretend that it's a Tupac song, or try to pretend that it's a Nipsey Hussle song, or whoever's voice it is that they're using. They putting these songs out there as if it's a song, it's a leak or a song that we hadn't heard before, whatever the case may be. That shit is corny to me. Doing that type of shit is corny to me. But what Drake did I felt like it was creative. I felt like it was clever, and that it was a cunning strategy to use within the confines of the battle. All is fair in love and war, right? So that's where I was at with that. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. By the way, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button and share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we live right now. We talking about the assassination of Aubrey Graham. That's basically what we talking about. Because I don't even know if I said it so far in the conversation. But for the record, the battle is over, man. The battle is over. Drake is in the grave right now. There's a lot of dirt on top of the casket right now. So just in case I wasn't clear about where I'm at today with this battle, it's a wrap. It's a mummy wrap, man. You can stick a fork in Drake. But I'm just going back in time and recapping everything and letting y'all know where I was at as things progressed in the battle. But let me see what y'all talking about. Yup, we taking it on face value. That's what I've been telling folk. Aubrey could have just used picks and Snoop's cadences. But what's wrong with the AI? Anyway, I ain't going to go back and forth with y'all about that. People have a problem. Whenever there's new technology, there's always a large contingency of the populace that has a problem with the new emerging technology. There's always a fear factor that comes along with it. And I talked about this before, but I'm always reminded of something that I read in a book. And I still don't remember what book I was reading, but this was like a novel that I was reading before. And it took place like in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s, around there, whenever the telephone was a new invention. It took place when telephones were new. And when telephones first came out, there were people who were afraid of the telephone. There were people who were against it. There were protests about it. There were people who were writing to the government trying to stop this from being a thing, all of that, because they were afraid of it. Like dads were on some, I don't want that thing in my house, that talking box. They were calling it the talking box. I don't want that talking box in my house where men have access to my daughter when I'm not home. And people were afraid of the telephone and they didn't want it. And so this reminds me of that. When people hear about this technology with the AI and the augmented reality and they don't really understand what it is, they're afraid of it. Oh, it's coming to take our jobs. Oh, it's coming to do this, coming to do that. Now, with all technology, there's always the good and the bad. But for the most part, I think people should be more open-minded to understand what this technology is and how it actually works so that it can be a tool for you rather than a weapon against you. And so this AI thing and people's takes on the AI thing, it just reminds me of that. Nah, bro, that's the erasure with the AI. I don't agree. He never rhymed from he was rhyming from Pac's perspective, but he was rhyming in his own cadence. He didn't try to rap like Tupac. He was rhyming in his own cadence. It was his own flow and all of that, but he was rhyming as if he was Tupac speaking to Kendrick Lamar, right? No different than when Kendrick was rhyming from the perspective of Nipsey Hussle. And like I said, he used the AI technology to make himself appear like Nipsey Hussle while he was rhyming from Nipsey's perspective. And another thing that people were saying about that is Pac wouldn't approve, or Pac would have been cool with Kendrick. Pac would have never said this or said that. And the truth of the matter is, we don't know that. That's speculation. The same way on the song that I'm talking about with Kendrick, I think it was The Heart Part 5, when he was rhyming like he was Nipsey Hussle, he forgave Nipsey Hussle's killer on that song. Who's to say Nipsey would have approved of that? How do we know Nipsey wouldn't have had a problem with that? If Nipsey was here, if Nipsey was able to speak for himself, would he say that he forgave Shitty Cuz for gunning him down like that? We can't say that. That could be perceived as disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So if we're going to have that perspective, keep that same energy on both sides. Is all I'm saying. If that's your perspective on him rhyming from the vantage point of a Tupac and that being disrespectful, then you got to keep that same energy on both sides if that's the way that you feel. You understand what I'm saying? Because that was interesting to me for him to say that he forgave Shitty Cuz for gunning him down like that. I don't think Nipsey would have felt like that, because Nipsey told us when he did an interview on Ism Radio with Tariq Nasheed, he told us if anything was to happen to him, he want niggas to ride. He wasn't talking about no forgiveness shit. He said, nah, y'all better ride for me. That was Nipsey's heart. So for Kendrick to do a song speaking from his perspective, talking about forgiveness, that could be a little slight. If we're gonna look at it like that, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Very first album is Soldier's Revenge on Strictly for My Niggas. World singing using auto-tune is considered cheating. I guess it depends on whose perspective is coming from. But I get it. Shout out to Jesse Paris in the building. What's going on? B1 King. B1. Sincere, they want to make an AI rapper. The labels want to truly own our genre through AI. I understand what's going on with that. Like I said, it could be used as a tool. It could also be used as a weapon. But in order for us to defend against anything to be weaponized against us, we have to have a understanding of it, what it is and how it works. We have to develop an understanding of it, what it is and how it works, in order to be able to defend ourselves, and also for us to be able to utilize it as a tool as well. All right? Facts. Keep the same energy. Nip was prophetic in that ISM interview. You're right on that. Okay. Y'all feel me a little bit. Y'all feel me on that a little bit. Hey, make sure y'all subscribe to my brother Jesse Paris in the chat as well. He's on YouTube as well. He said he's going to be going live in about 2 hours with Frontline Black News. That's our good brother. He's running for office out there in Denver, Colorado. He's definitely B1. He's on the reparations tip and all of that. So make sure that y'all follow him, subscribe to his channel, and look into his campaign and see what he got going on as far as let him know what you're running for. I know you ran for mayor out there in Denver, but I think he's running for city council now or something else, some other office out there. But y'all look into his platform and see what he got going on. He needs our support. He's pushing reparations out there, so we rock with him. All right. I'm calling it straight down the middle. Me too. I'm calling it straight down the middle. So where was I? I talked about the Rick Ross thing. I talked about that. We were still waiting for Kendrick Lamar to respond. Oh, yeah. Got to the point where he dropped the AI joint, the tailor-made joint. Like I said, that one, I thought it was pretty dope. I liked it. I respected it. When that came out, that's when I put Kendrick on the clock. Up until that point, other people was putting Kendrick on the clock. But I was like, Drake's response wasn't really that good. He doesn't necessarily have to respond. I was happy with the Rose response. I thought we was going to get a little back and forth with Drake and Rose and maybe a response from Kendrick. But when he dropped that AI joint, that's when I put Kendrick on the clock. I said, okay, K-Dot, you got 24 hours, nigga. Jake, now I'm like, Drake is on your ass, nigga. I'm getting the strategic Drake that I was expecting. I'm getting the cunning, the thinking Drake that I was expecting. And he sounded like he's ready for war because he's baiting Kendrick to come out now. He's baiting him like, nah, nigga, you ain't gonna just walk away from this one like you did when you dropped that Control verse and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You're always coming out, dropping these little disses, and then you just go away. Like, not this time, buddy. I'm here for the smoke. You coming outside. So I'm like, oh, shit. It's about to be something. So I'm like, K-Dot, you on the clock, my nigga. You got to give us one, right? But in the middle of that, there was some back and forth between Rick Ross and Drake on social media. They started going back on social media. Like I said, Rick Ross was calling him white boy, BBL, Drizzy, and all of that, talking about he got a nose job and all of that, questioning his character, questioning his blackness, and his cultural cachet was being questioned, right? And so in that back and forth exchange, to me, Drake made a grave mistake. Drake made a grave mistake when he released the conversation between him and his mother, where his mother asked him about the nose job, and he called Rick Ross a racist. I said, no, Drizzy. I said, no, Drizzy. That was a bad move. And I forgot something else that was a bad move too. On the Drop and Give Me 50 song, Give Me 50 song, there was a line on there where he said, I just got him done, nigga. Don't make me have to chip a nail. No, you shot yourself with that line also. And that was the main reason why I felt like that song wasn't good enough. That line alone, when I was like, no, nigga, you don't say no shit like that. You damn sure don't say no shit like that in no battle. Talking about getting your nails done and all of that shit. Like, no, nigga, you killing yourself. You doing the murder for Kendrick. It's no need for Kendrick to come out and defend that, nigga. You doing the job for him. I just got him done. Don't make me have to chip a nail. No, I wasn't feeling that at all. And so then he put out that screenshot with his talking to his mama. First of all, you talking to your white mama after you being accused of when your blackness is being put in question and your cultural cachet is being put in question, and they talking about you got a nose job and all of that. So instead of you having a conversation with your dad, your black father, and having some type of conversation with him and putting that out there, you go to your white mama and call Rick Ross a racist. That was some hoe shit. That was some Karen shit. You turned into a Karen. I was like, what? I'm like, this nigga Drake is, I'm like, you getting some bad advice, my nigga. Who's advising this dude? This nigga turned into a Karen. So I said, oh man, it's really no need for Kenny to come outside. Rose got him against the ropes. Rose got him all over the place. Now, we don't even need Kendrick Lamar to destroy this dude. Rose about to put him in the casket. So that's where I was at with it at that point. And so, like I said, the next thing after that was the AI joint that came out. I like that one. You know, I ain't gonna say I was super impressed, but it did make things interesting. And for me, I'm like, okay, K-Dot got to respond. K-Dot got to respond. K-Dot got to come outside. And so, what happened? Oh, yeah. So when he put that out there, that screenshot with the conversation with his moms, I posted this. Somebody said that was some small hat shit. Yeah. So I responded to this. When he was going back and forth with Rose, he put out that screenshot with his moms calling Rose a racist and all of that. You know, I didn't even do, like I said, I didn't get a chance to go live and really give all of my full takes on things as they were happening. And so I just posted this, you know, briefly on what I was feeling about it. I said, I hope Drake understands when you do something like that, you make it fair game for niggas to go at your moms. You make it fair game for niggas to go at your mom. You just put your moms in the middle of the battle by doing that. So I didn't even get into, you know, him calling Ross a racist and him being a Karen and all of that. I ain't even get into all of that. I'm just saying, nigga, you just put your moms in the crossfire. So that was another no-no. So strategically, Drake is losing this battle. Just from a strategic standpoint. Like I said from the beginning, there was never a question from me of whether he could rhyme better than Kendrick. I already know you can't rhyme better than Kendrick. I already know that part. But from a strategic standpoint, now you're losing. And Kendrick ain't even respond yet. You're already losing on strategy, and Kendrick ain't even respond yet. So then, like I said, I thought the AI stuff was a good strategy, right? So we got that. Yeah, I gave him his props right here. I put it up there, the AI joint. I said, yeah, this the one. I'm happy to say that I'm on record letting people know not to sleep on Drake because he is a thinker and he is very strategic. Y'all can't front on this one. you got less than 20 K-Dot, you got less than 24 hours to respond. So that was what I put out when Drake released the Tailor Made freestyle, right? So what happened after that, y'all? What happened after that? What did we get after that? Because it still took a couple of days or so before we got Euphoria. But I think Euphoria was next, if I'm not mistaken. The only real advantage Drake has over Kendrick is that Kendrick's angles, Kendrick's angles, we all heard before from Pusha T. Okay, that part right there, I spoke on that too. One of the things when Euphoria came out, okay, you're right on time with that comment, because I believe the next thing that we got was Euphoria. So now when Euphoria dropped, my initial reaction to Euphoria was, this isn't good enough either. Do I have that? Let me see if I can find that real quick. I think I tweeted it. Let me see if I could pull up my Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. Let me see if I can find my tweet real quick. I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to be thorough with it. So yeah, when Euphoria came out, okay, I didn't say anything. Only thing I put up was this. I retweeted it after only listening to it one time. I retweeted it, and I just put up the thinking emoji, like because I wasn't quite sure how I felt yet. So I put up the You know what I mean? I didn't know how to feel after the first listen, so I was just like I don't know. I don't think this is it, right? And so after I listened to it a couple of times, I still felt like that wasn't it. I said, nah, this wasn't good enough. I said, I'll give him the edge. He's up in the battle after Euphoria dropped, and I listened to it a couple of times and let it marinate a little bit. I said, I'll give him the edge, but this wasn't the knockout blow that we all looking for. That was my stance when Euphoria dropped. I said, yeah, he's up right now in the battle. It was better than dropping Give Me 50. And Drake also shot himself a couple of times along the way with those two instances that I just mentioned. And so when Euphoria came out, I gave Kendrick the edge, but it wasn't the knockout blow that people were expecting. And so I kept it a buck. I said, yeah, this he up right now, but it's still going to the scorecards, right? And people was arguing with me about that because people felt like I was basically riding with Drake. I wasn't saying Drake was winning, but people took it as me saying Drake was winning because I didn't give Kendrick the clear victory. I didn't felt like Euphoria was a knockout blow. I didn't. Although as the days went on and the layers did get peeled back, I did grow a greater appreciation for Euphoria, because I'll be the first one to admit I didn't catch every single line at first. I didn't catch every single line on my own. Thank the internet. Shout out to the people on the internet who's helping to decode some of these bars and shit like that. There was stuff on there that I wasn't able to catch on my own, and so therefore couldn't appreciate it the way that it should have been appreciated. But even still, with the layers being peeled back, it wasn't a knockout blow, because like somebody said in the comments, a lot of stuff that he put out there was stuff that Pusha T already said. It wasn't nothing that was new, that was being revealed, that was shocking, that was, a real strong blow that was going to end the battle. They were very good. It was a very good, hard body shot. It put Drake up against the ropes. It put Kendrick up on the scorecards, but the fight wasn't over for me. The fight wasn't over. I'm like, nah, I'm going to have to wait and see what Drake going to do with this, because nah, this ain't no ether. And I'm not saying this ain't no ether comparing it to the actual song Ether. I'm saying this is not an ether moment, whereas it's clearly done. He's the winner. It's over. Ain't no coming back for this. I didn't feel like that after Euphoria. Even after peeling back the layers with the help of the internet, I still didn't feel like that was the one. And I said it as much. And people were like, oh, you a Drake stan, blah, blah, blah. I was never a Drake stan. Actually, at that point, I already had Kendrick winning the battle. I just felt like it wasn't enough to end the battle, right? And so I was going back and forth with people about that, and I was keeping it real about certain things from the Euphoria too. And so one thing that I said that I think I want to take back. if I'm going to eat any of my words, if I'm going to eat any of my words thus far, I will concede to having to eat these words right here. These words right here, I'll have to eat these. This was from the Euphoria joint. I said, I promise y'all not going to be bumping that song a month from now. I take that back. I was wrong. I take that back. I was wrong. And the reason why I have to say that I was wrong about that is because of the layers. I slept on the strategy that Kendrick Lamar had deployed with the release of Euphoria. Kendrick was very strategic with a lot of stuff that he did with that song. Like in the beginning of the song, we had the reverse thing from Richard Pryor, from Wizard of Oz, when Richard Pryor was saying, I am who they say I am. You know what I'm saying? Basically, well, I forgot the exact words what it was. But him putting that little Easter egg in there and some of the other Easter eggs that he had throughout the song made you have to keep going back and listening to it in order to peel back the layers and decode and pick up on all the Easter eggs. The strategy that he used in that song gave the song enough legs for the replay value. I didn't think the song was going to have enough replay value because I was just looking at it like, okay, he's just rapping over niggas' heads. A lot of people not going to get it. So, you know, people not going to be bumping this one. It's not a song that has the replay value. That was my initial thought on it. And as a song, it might not be that, but the Easter eggs that are within the song, if you're interested in this battle, and if you're a rap nerd like me, it's going to force you to have to keep going back. So it does, therefore, have the replay value that I thought it didn't have. And so I take out those words. I will eat those words. I will eat those words. Niggas is going to be decoding and unpacking Euphoria for some time to come because Kendrick Lamar is that brilliant of a writer. He's that brilliant of a lyricist. The man is incredible. Right? And so, let me see what y'all talking about. Not a Drake fan at all, but he understands the assignment under this song context. I am a Drake fan, but I agree with the second part of your statement too. He does understand the assignment. Nah, you was right. Not like us overshadows Euphoria. Okay, we're going to get to that, Brother Ish. We're going to get to that. We definitely going to get to that. Mr. Ishmael, agree. Ain't no coming back from Not Like Us and Meet the Grams. Y'all ahead of me in the comments. I ain't even get to that yet. Y'all way ahead of me in the comments. I'm trying to work my way up to where we at today because I'm just recapping the blow by blow as things progressed. So y'all rock with me. Y'all be able, oh yeah, Canelo fight tonight, right? They fighting right now? Are they fighting right now, Ish? I forgot Canelo is fighting tonight. Shit, I was just talking about how exciting the boxing world is, and I forgot it's a good fight on tonight. Am I missing the fight? Shit. That's all right. I'm gonna watch it anyway. Don't tell me if somebody gets knocked out. If anybody gets knocked out, don't put it in the chat. I'm gonna watch the fight as soon as I get off of here. I'm gonna watch the fight as soon as I get off of here. So please, no, don't blow it up in the chat. Don't blow it up in the chat. I want to watch it. But anyway, so Euphoria. Boom. We get Euphoria. Couple days later, we get. I just want to make sure I'm not skipping around here. So yeah, Euphoria drops. The internet is going crazy. Some people love it. Some people think it's mid. Some people think it was cool. Some people think it was too rapidy rap. Some people said it was trash. Some people said it was a dub. But people were unpacking it for the next several days to come after that. People were unpacking it, doing all type of breakdowns and decoding analysis, classes. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it too. Kendrick's lyrics warrant all of these reaction videos, these decoding videos. Drake's lyrics really don't warrant that. Most of Drake's lyrics, you can understand. It's very surface level. You can understand it the first time you hear it, as you're hearing it. The only thing that you might not catch if you're not aware of some of the stories that he's referring to. You know, if you don't know all of the little inside stuff about whose girl's name is what, and you know whose chain got snatched and all that shit, like I said earlier, you might not catch exactly what he's referring to in some of the lines. But as far as the poetry, as far as the lyrical structure and all of that stuff, it's very basic and easy to comprehend. You know what I'm saying? But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying that like that's a bad thing. That can work good for you in a battle as long as you got the right strategy to go along with it. I thought Kendrick's lyricism might work against him because my initial thought was, it's like the song from Erykah Badu says, "What good do your words do if they can't understand you? Don't go talking that shit, my dude, my dude. What good do your words do if they can't understand you?" So if you super lyrical and rapidy rap and you over top of niggas' heads and they can't understand what the hell you saying, that can cost you the battle. Because even though you doing all of this rapidy rap shit, niggas don't even know what the hell you talking about. They give it to the other nigga that they can actually understand. And so I thought that might be a problem for Kendrick, because I'm like, this nigga raps too good. Most people are not rap nerds. Most people can't break all of that shit down. Most people don't understand all of that shit, right? So I'm like, that might work against him. But I underestimated Kendrick's ability to strategize. Kendrick Lamar is playing 4D chess with this nigga Drake. He's 9,000 moves ahead of this nigga Drake. So after Euphoria, we get it came out to today. Euphoria led all the way up to today. Well, last night. It was late last night where Aubrey dropped Family Matters. And Family Matters, oh yes, thank you. I'm forgetting about 616. My bad. Thank you. Cannot skip 616. So yeah, before Drake even has a chance to respond to Euphoria, we get 616. Now 616, for me, ended it. When I heard 616 and seen everything that came with 616, the cover with the glove, the all of the multiple meanings with the title and all of that shit that came with it, the Al Green sample. See, that's really what I needed. When he came with the Al Green sample and Al Green was moaning and groaning all through the song, that's the intangible shit that you feel in your foundational Black American spirit. You can't really put that in words. You can't really articulate how that makes you feel and what that really means. So it goes beyond the rhymes. It goes beyond the shots that he's taking and the digs and all of that shit. It's just the feeling behind the music. So when he released the 616 with that Al Green sample, I was done. Because at this point, Drake's blackness is already at question. You know, his cultural cachet is already at question. And I tried to defend him a little bit because, like I said, Drake is a foundational Black American. He comes from a legendary foundational Black American family. His uncle is Larry Graham. And so I'm like, you know, Drake, come on now. Drake does have birthrights to this culture of hip hop. He's a part of the lineage. You know what I'm saying? I understand culturally he may not have grown up with us. He grew up with his white family out there in Canada. He was a little detached from the culture, but by birthright, through his lineage, he has a right rightful claim to the culture. And also, I pointed out the contradiction with Kendrick Lamar talking about him being of mixed race because Kendrick Lamar's wife is of mixed race, right? And also, I put up the video when Kendrick Lamar, actually, let me pull that video up because he was provoking Drake's black card and saying that he can't say nigga no more and all of that, right? And so I was pointing out some of the contradictions there because, like I said, I keep shit real. I keep shit real across the board. So share this tab. I keep shit real across the board. I'm not going to just call the game one way, right? And so I seen the contradictions from there. And so I said, no, I got to call that out, though. Even though I still got Kendrick Lamar winning the battle, I still got to call out what I'm seeing here. Because I'm not going to make Kendrick Lamar a saint as far as black empowerment goes either, just because we know him to talk about cultural issues and social issues and all of that stuff way more than somebody like Drake. Yes, he does do that in his music. He's a little active in the community and stuff like that. But I'm not going to make him a saint either, because we see this from a lot of so-called conscious rappers where they talk black in their music, but we see them contradicting a lot of that black talk in the music with a lot of moves that they make in real life. And I call out my favorite MC when it comes to that, which is Nas. Kendrick's wife, mom, is mixed race and her dad is FBA. Okay, same thing. That's a contradiction. That's a contradiction because also she talked about having somewhat of an identity crisis growing up, and she had like a tragic mulatto mentality to a certain degree also, right? So the same thing would apply to her, right? There was a contradiction there. I pointed that out. Also, like I said, I'm talking about the him saying Drake can't say nigga no more and all of that, right? Drake, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought a little bit. Right? Anyway, I'm gonna play the video because there was a contradiction with him saying that. I'm like, okay, you saying Drake can't say nigga no more, but this was cool. And I'm probably gonna get a strike because of the music. I really wish I could play music on this channel anyway. And this is why I want y'all, those of y'all who rock with us on Sincere Love the Godcast, I really want y'all to subscribe to our channel, Godcast Enterprises on YouTube, because I really want to migrate our Godcast content over to that channel and make that the official hub for Sincere Love the Godcast, so that I can demonetize this channel here, the Sincere Love the God channel, and I could just have fun here. I could play music, I could play copyrighted material, and just express myself in a different way on this channel and really have some fun with y'all, showing another side of myself. I don't want to do that on this channel now because this is the channel that most of y'all are subscribed to. And, you know, we're a team here. It's not just me. It's me, Nicey Girl, and our other partner, Kool-Aid. We're a team here. And so we built up this channel initially, you know what I'm saying? And we got it to a point where we're able to monetize it. And so I don't want to go crazy with it yet until I get all of y'all to migrate over to us on the Godcast Enterprise channel. So that's really where I want the central hub for Godcast Enterprises to be, on that channel. So if you're not already, please subscribe to us on Godcast Enterprises so that I can start doing whatever the hell I want to do on this channel, Sincere Love to God. Like I said, I wish I could play music and all that, but I'm gonna play this clip right here, and I may get, a little flag for this right here, but I gotta prove a point here. So this.
Where you ground all day. This last city up. And Paru's and Grit.
All right, so y'all heard that, right? I ain't gonna keep playing the music. But so I'm like, okay, Kendrick, you saying you don't want to hear Drake saying nigga no more because he's a white boy and he ain't really black and he grew up with his white Jewish mother, and he's not a part of the culture like that. He's a colonizer and all of these things. And you say He can't say nigga no more. I'm cool with it because it sparked a good conversation about showing respect to the culture if you are a guest. It re-sparked that conversation about people who are guests within the culture needing to show a certain amount of decorum and respect when it comes to the culture. So I was cool with it. I wasn't going to go against it. My only thing was, okay, if we're going to say that, I'm going to need you to keep the same energy with the Fat Joes, who really ain't black at all. If we're going to do this with Drake, who has a foundational black American father, why are we letting Fat Joe run around here saying nigga, 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 nigga? And he also challenged y'all niggas too, because he got a song where he said, who gonna tell me I can't say nigga? Nigga, 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 nigga. He's antagonizing people with the N-word. I don't even like saying N-word, but he's antagonizing people using the word nigga. So I'm like, what about Cardi B? Thank you, JoJo Minor. What about, DJ Khaled and all these other people who are really not black at all, who are guests in the culture? Let's check everybody. So I'm cool with it, but we're going to have to keep the same energy across the board, and we're going to have to check everybody who is not black and who is not a foundational black American specifically, if that's what we're doing. Right? So I'm being fair. I'm not necessarily defending Drake, but I'm being fair. I'm being fair, and I'm saying don't use the blackness and the pro-black shit for your convenience. Don't weaponize the pro-blackness within the confines of you having a battle with this man if you're not really about that life. If you're going to be really about that life, then you're going to have to be about that life across the board. I'm not going to make you a saint of black empowerment just because you rap about some cool shit here and there. Nah, I call Nas out about it when he's on bullshit. I'm calling anybody else about it. Common, we put Common on blast on the last record. Talib Kweli, all of these niggas who be getting on the mic sounding like they pro-black, and then they be shilling for the Democrats, and then they be people of color in it, and all lives mattering in it, and all that shit, co-signing all of this LGBT propaganda and all of that, getting on stage with Lil Nas X and all this other weird shit, right? We calling all of that shit out. So I'm not going to make Kendrick Lamar a saint just because I like him as a rapper, just because I think he's better than Drake and he should win the battle. That doesn't mean he's going to get a pass. So now you got this white girl up on stage with you. You pull a white girl up out the crowd to come rap along with your song. She says the word nigga loud and clear on stage, and you just let it go. You ain't say nothing about it. So how we checking Drake for saying nigga, but you didn't check that white girl when she said nigga? Right? So I put that out there. Now there's another video of Kendrick Lamar with another white girl on stage rapping the same song, and that white girl said nigga, and he stopped the show because a lot of people was in my comments saying, well, what he supposed to do? He gonna just stop the show? He gonna stop in the middle of the concert to tell her she can't say nigga? The show must go on. A lot of people was in the comments saying shit like that. But after he got backlash for that one, there was another white girl that he brought on stage who said the word nigga, and he stopped the show. He stopped the concert, and he checked her. Well, he didn't really check her. He kind of asked her nicely, hey, there's one word I'm going to need you to bleep out, though. I kind of think that was orchestrated. I think after he got backlash for that one right there, he purposely was picking white girls out of the crowd and white people out of the crowd on the following shows so that he can clean up his mess. That's what I think. I think that was some crisis management, PR shit. All right, because now the white girl came on stage. She said it. He was like, oh, he stopped the beat. He stopped the music and everything. He's like, listen, it's just one word I'm gonna need you to bleep out, though. Okay. She was like, okay. And he turned the music back on and let her try it again. So he didn't really check her. If he was going to check it, be like, listen, get up out of here, man. You know you don't say no shit like that. You know we don't rock like that. Get your ass up off the stage with that bullshit. We don't play that. So it wasn't really a check. He didn't really check her. But he did stop the concert, is my point, for the people who are saying, oh, he ain't gonna stop the show just for that. Yeah, yes, he will. And he has. Right. And they jumped on him for that. Exactly. In all truth, these white people do it all the time at shows. Facts. But it's one thing, you got a whole crowd of people out there singing your song. Yeah, you're not going to stop the show. Now that I will agree with people if they say, yeah, you're not going to stop the show because it's white people in the crowd singing along to your song saying nigga. But if you bring somebody up on stage and they on the mic and they standing next to you, and that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the majority of these shows, the majority of the crowd is white people. All rap shows, not just certain rap shows, all rap shows, even the pro-black artists. You look in the crowd, you see a sea of white people. They love our shit. They love our shit. For real, for real. Okay, so where we at? Mr. FAB from the Bay, he allowed a white girl to say nigga on stage too. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of these niggas that do that shit. Nas, I had to check Nas for the same shit too, because there was some controversy, I think, about, was it Gwyneth Paltrow? I think it was Gwyneth Paltrow. There was something about Gwyneth Paltrow, and Nas was defending her and was saying that she my nigga and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And also, when that thing with Eminem came out, when Benzino had released those tapes when Eminem was calling black girls niggas and all of that shit, Nas said on another song, not mad because Eminem said nigga, because he's my nigga, wigger, cracker friend. We all black within. Yeah, so nobody gets a pass. A lot of these niggas be on bullshit. Nobody gets a pass. I'm not making a saint out of none of these niggas. Killer Mike, all of these perceived pro-black niggas that be on bullshit, we call all of them out. So it's no exceptions for Kendrick Lamar, even in the middle of a battle. All right. So where are we? So it was 616. So yeah, Drake didn't even get a chance to respond. Kendrick dropped 616. To me, that was a knockout blow. 616 was a knockout blow. I said, this battle is over. You can stick a fork in Drake. It's a wrap. And so, boom, that led up to last night where Drake dropped Family Matters. Drake dropped Family Matters. And again, I felt like he's losing the battle from a strategic standpoint. Because in the beginning of the song, now, again, all of this stuff is going on about the colorism and his blackness and saying nigga and all of this stuff. The beginning of the song, or part of the song, I don't know if it was in the beginning, but part of the song, he got his mom on there. Yes, I think it's at the beginning of the song. He got his white mama on there saying, maybe this time you shouldn't start off the song by saying nigga. Now, she doesn't actually say the word nigga. Drake comes in and says it for her. But the implication is still there. That his mom told him, maybe you don't want to start the song off by saying the word nigga. It's not very strategic of you, Drake. It's not very strategic of you, Drake. You shooting yourself with shit like that, Drake. Like, nah. And all through the song, he's kind of being antagonistic with the word nigga. Because now Kendrick told him he can't use the word nigga. And so now he's trying to say, I can say nigga all I want to say nigga. Just like people were making memes and skits and shit predicting he was going to do. He falls right into the trap that Kendrick set for him. Kendrick put him in this awkward situation. And to me, he didn't respond well to it. That wasn't a good way to respond to it. He needed to respond to that in a different way. If he was gonna address that, he needed to do it in a different way. The way he did it made him seem like a Karen. Made him seem like a goddamn white supremacist to a certain degree. So no, Drake, you already dead in the coffin, and now you being a Karen from the goddamn coffin. No. And now the song is pretty good. Meet the Family, Family Matters. It's pretty good. It's some good stuff in there. But compared to what Kendrick already did with Euphoria and 616 and all of that, it was like, no. And the other thing that he did wrong in that song was he responded to everybody again. He didn't just focus on Kendrick. He was still getting at Future and Rick Ross and Rihanna's boyfriend, whatever his name is, ASAP Rocky, all these other people he was getting at, where I felt like he should have just focused on Kendrick. Nigga, Kendrick is the problem. All these other people are just distractions at this point. Kendrick is the problem that you need to be worried about. But he tried to respond to everybody. He weared himself thin. That's like when you have an army, you have a military that's spread too thin because you got proxy wars going all around, all on the different continents and different parts of the globe. And then something big happens in a certain part of the world where you don't have enough might, you don't have enough military might to deploy and deal with the imminent threat that you need to deal with. That's what happened with Drake on that Meet the Family shit. You spread yourself too thin. You should have just dealt with the imminent threat, which was Kendrick Lamar. Right? So that was another strategic mistake from his part. But then, within a matter of minutes, I think it was like 10, 15 minutes later, Kendrick drops Meet the Goddamn Grams. Kendrick Lamar drops Meet the Goddamn Grams. Meet the Grams is one of the greatest diss tracks I ever heard in my entire life. I'm not exaggerating. I was asleep when all this was happening. I was watching the Mavericks play the Clippers. I fell asleep watching the Mavericks play the Clippers. I didn't even get to see the whole game. I wake up in the morning, my phone is blowing up. I got text messages, I got DMs, I got people tagging me on social media. I'm like, what the hell happened? So in the middle of the night while I was asleep, Drake dropped Meet the Family, Family Matters, and Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams 10 minutes later. Nigga, Meet the Grams is one of the best diss tracks I ever heard. I swear to God, I'm drinking my coffee. It's early in the morning. I'm drinking my coffee. I put the headphones on. I'm listening to this shit and I'm reading the lyrics. And I'm getting emotional. I'm getting emotional, nigga. Not because it's sad. See, I'm a sensitive person when it comes to art. I'm sensitive to great art. It doesn't have to be anything sad. But if it's brilliant, there are times when brilliance from an artistic standpoint can literally bring tears to my eyes. I've heard songs that were so good that I started crying. Doesn't have to be a sad song. I have seen things in film and stage plays, poems, all different forms of art that were so brilliant to me that I get emotional. That happens to me. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. But when it comes to art, I'm sensitive. If something is really, really, really good, it does something to me. When I was listening to Meet the Goddamn Parents this morning, Meet the Grams this morning, I got that feeling. I said, this nigga Kendrick Lamar. Now, it's in context. Now, I don't think it was just the song itself, but it's in the context of everything that led up to it. Because like I mentioned earlier, ever since this been going on, I've been listening to the Mr. Morale album and growing a greater appreciation for the Mr. Morale album. I've been walking through the woods, taking 3 to 5 mile walks, listening to that album, really analyzing it, breaking it down, letting it sizzle in my spirit. And that is a masterpiece. That album is a masterpiece. The degree of difficulty to execute the concept of the album, because the album is a play. It's an audio play from beginning to end. All of the people that are featured on the album are characters within the story. It's not just like, oh, I'm collaborating with this artist to do a song with this artist because this is who's hot or whatever the case may be. It's like doing a casting for a stage play and casting people to play certain characters within the stage play. So you got Kodak Black, who's the narrator of the play. Brilliant. You get to see a side of Kodak Black that most of us didn't even know existed. Most of us didn't even know Kodak Black had this in him. Kodak Black is doing like spoken word on there. He's spitting like complex rhyme schemes, narrating the album, being introspective and deep, talking about some real shit. So it wasn't the Kodak Black that we're used to seeing, the image of Kodak Black that was already put out there. Kendrick brought something else out of this man and made him the narrator, almost a center point within the album. That part. The song, there's a song on there called, what the hell is the name of the song? Hold on a second. This song is the most obviously brilliant song on the record, and it's one of the most brilliant songs ever. It's called "We Cry Together." It's called "We Cry Together," and I'm breaking this down for people who really didn't take that deep dive into Mr. Morale. Right? We're still talking about the battle, but I'm giving you the context that led up to me hearing "Meet the Grams" that made me so emotional. Right? So there's a song on there called "We Cry Together," and it features a sister named Taylor Page. Taylor Page is not a rapper. Taylor Page is actually an actress. What is she playing? So y'all might know her. Who is Taylor Page? Taylor Page. Hold on, y'all. Her name is Taylor Page. Taylor Page. Let me see what she plays in. Where y'all know her from? Taylor Dominique Page, an American actress and a dancer. She's known for her role as Isaiah Zola King in the film. What film? What's her film? What films is she in? So she's in something called Zola. She's in something called Hit the Floor. She was in Beverly Hills Cop. She's in something called Sharp Stick, something called Boogie. I never saw none of these. I wasn't familiar with her as an actress, but I had to look up to see who she was, and she's an actress. So he casted this actress to be on this song. Her performance on the song deserves whatever type of award you could get for a performance. She deserves a goddamn Tony, a goddamn Oscar, a goddamn Grammy, any type of award that you could get for a performance on a song. She deserves it. This is one of the most brilliant songs you will ever hear. It's a man and a woman having an argument, a relationship, two people in a relationship arguing with each other back and forth on the song, right? But not only is it about that relationship between him and his girl, but that their dialogue within the song is a microcosm of what we see happening in the world with the gender divide between black men and black women. At the same time, it's about these two individuals, but at the same time, it's about the gender divide that we see taking place between black men and black women, with a lot of stuff that we see on social media with these podcasters and these relationship gurus, and all of these people that push this gender divide narrative in black society. It's commentary on that, while at the same time, on a microcosmic level, it's about the relationship between these two individuals. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. From a writing standpoint, from an execution standpoint, from a conceptual standpoint, just every angle imaginable is completely brilliant. And that song is, anybody can hear that song and understand what I'm saying about its brilliance. But everybody won't listen to that album one or two times and catch the brilliance. I didn't. I already liked the album prior to this past week or so that I've been listening to it. I already liked it, but I never took this deep of a dive to be able to peel all these layers back and tie everything together. It's a play about Kendrick getting therapy. It's a play about him going through relationship problems and familial problems, and him needing therapy and seeking therapy, and what he gets out of the therapy sessions, going back into his childhood, things that were passed down from his mother, from his father, talking about deep topics like child molestation and all different type of stuff, man. It's incredible, man. It's really, really, really incredible. I can't even put it into words and stress it enough how incredible that album was and how much I slept on it, even though I actually liked the album. But I had no idea what I was really, really listening to until now. And so anyway, that's the context leading up to hearing Meet the Grams, because Meet the Grams sounds like something that could possibly be on that album, the way he approached it, the way he his approach to it, and the concept of it, the tone of it sounds like something that could fit on that album. And so when I'm listening to it this morning, I'm getting emotional, man. And I'm like, yo, this is up there with Ether. This is up there with No Vaseline. This is up there with Second Round Knockout, just the greatest diss tracks of all time. It has to go on that shelf. I'm not sure where to rank it or how to rank it just yet, but it goes on that shelf for me automatically. It's on that level just from a sheer brilliant standpoint, the way he approached it. And he basically psychoanalyzed Drake, his family. He's speaking to his son. He's speaking to his mother, his father, and speaking directly to him, giving him manhood lessons, mentoring his son for him because he's not sufficient as a father. He's insufficient. He's empty. He's hollow, as he doesn't have a soul. And so Kendrick is filling in for him to be a mentor for his son, to give him the example that he can't get from his own dad. It's ugly. And then he says, you're not going to understand this right now, but play this when you turn 18. And that has layers to it within itself, because on a surface level, you get it. You know, he's telling him, you know, you're not going to understand this right now, but play this when you turn 18. When you get a little bit older, you'll actually be able to understand it. But the reality of the matter is, this song is actually still going to exist when that kid grows up and becomes of age. And he's going to hear it. He's going to listen to it. Hopefully he has a great relationship with his father. You know what I'm saying? Already and going forward throughout his life. Hopefully Drake is not, you know, this piece of shit that Kendrick is painting him out to be in real life. Hopefully he's not that guy. And Adonis does have a great relationship with his father, so that that song don't hit the way that it could possibly hit when he is actually able to understand it and he hears it. Because if that kid grows up and has a rocky relationship with Drake for whatever reason, and he hears that song, oh my God, that shit is going to hit different. It's really going to hit different. That's going to have a delayed effect from now until that time comes. That shit is going to hit different. And so now people are saying about that song, the Drake stands are saying about that song, yeah, well, Drake is still winning because the shit he's saying on there ain't true. Because he mentions Drake hiding another child, which is supposed to be a daughter that's out there. And supposedly that's not true. I think Drake put something out there already talking about niggas is lying, making shit up, and please find this daughter if she exists, find her, or whatever the case may be. So reportedly, the allegations about him having another daughter out there that he's not claiming are not true. Reportedly. But for me, that doesn't matter. Okay, battles are a propaganda war. When you having a battle, a war of words like this, it's a propaganda war. And propaganda is not always necessarily about what is true. Propaganda is about assassinating the character of your target. Propaganda is about controlling the narrative. And so if you're able to effectively do that, it doesn't necessarily matter what is true. It's about the effect that it has. You understand what I'm saying? Like, in order to kill someone in the public eye, in order to kill someone before the masses, you have to make them killable. Before you can actually assassinate someone publicly, you have to make them killable. In order to commit a genocide against a group of people, you have to make them killable in the eyes of the world. And so you run propaganda against them to get people to devalue them so that people think less of them. You dehumanize them so that nobody cares whenever something actually happens to them. You have to demonize them so that whenever you do what you're going to do to them, they don't get no sympathy. That's how propaganda works. So in order for Hitler to be able to put the Jews in the oven like he did in Nazi Germany, before he did that, he had to run a propaganda slander campaign against this group of people and make them seem like they were the scum of the earth so that nobody would care when he began to do what he did. You know what I'm saying? Somebody mentioned Bin Laden in the chat. Before they was able to wipe him out, they had to slander him with their news media. They had to make him to be the bad guy within the news media so that they can go in and do what they wanted to do to him. Same thing that they did to Muammar Gaddafi and many of other heads of state that they assassinated around the world. You have to make someone killable before you can kill them. And so that's how the propaganda wars work. And it's the same thing within the confines of a rap battle. So it doesn't necessarily matter what's true and what's not true. So whether he has a daughter or not, it's really neither here nor there. It doesn't take away from the brilliance of that song. I know that. Right? And so that happened. Drake drops Family Matters. 10 minutes later, we get Meet the Grams, and that takes all of the air out of the Family Matters record. The Family Matters record didn't even get a chance to breathe before Kendrick dropped his response, which was Meet the Grams. And now the brilliance of that also, there's another layer to the brilliance of that, because if you go back to Euphoria, one of the lines that he said on Euphoria, he said something about, I even can predict your angles. Y'all remember that? He said, I even can predict your angles. And so for him to be able to drop a response to Family Matters 10 minutes after that song came out means he already predicted what Drake was coming with. He already knew the angle that Drake was going to take, and he already had his chess move lined up. He predicted his angles like he said he was going to do on the Euphoria song. Brilliant. This nigga Kendrick Lamar is different. He's not the same as us. I'm saying this as an MC. Kendrick Lamar is not the same as the rest of us. He's different. That's brilliant. It's like on the song Euphoria. Let's go back to the song Euphoria. We are going to talk about some of the lines and decode some of the bars. Let me pull it up, goddammit. Let me go to the lyrics to Euphoria. I want to show y'all something that exemplifies this lyrical brilliance that I'm talking about with Kendrick Lamar, so that those that don't get what I'm saying don't think that I'm exaggerating. I'm going to show y'all an example. of what I'm talking about with the brilliance of Kendrick Lamar, just so people don't think I'm exaggerating when I talk about how brilliant this man is. So he says, now let me find it. What line am I looking for? Let me get my thoughts together. Where he says, okay, yeah. All right. I know what it is. Somebody told me you got a ring. Parts of the woman is gray. Okay, all right. So he said, man, listen to this, y'all. He said, it's 3 goats left, and I seen 2 of them kissing and hugging on stage. I love them to death. And in 8 bars, I'll explain that phrase. I'm gonna repeat it again. It's 3 goats left, and I see 2 of them kissing and hugging on stage. I love them to death. And in 8 bars, I'll explain that phrase. So it's 3 goats, and I see 2 of them hugging and kissing on stage, referring to Drake and J. Cole, you know, them performing on stage, doing the bromance thing, talking about the big 3 and all of that. He said, I love them to death. And in 8 bars, I'll explain that phrase. It took me a couple of days to catch this, but I think it was yesterday or the day before where I said, what does he mean? I counted 8 bars after that. 8 bars later, he says this. He says, in 8 bars, I'll explain that phrase after he says, I love him to death. And so on the 8th bar, he said, the crown is heavy. I pray that they my real friends, and if not, I'm YMW Melly. That was the 8 bars later where he explained the phrase about loving them to death. Because YMW Melly, for those that don't know, is a rapper from Florida who's on trial for killing 2 of his friends. Allegedly. He's on trial for allegedly killing 2 of his friends. And so Kendrick said, I love him to death. And 8 bars later, I'll explain that phrase. And then on the 8th bar, he says, I pray they my real friends. If not, I'm YMW Melly. That is the brilliance of Kendrick Lamar, because now it's like, yo, which line did you come up with first? How did you know what you was going to say 8 bars later? If you write rhymes, if you write anything, if you write stories, if you write books, if you write anything, you know how it is to construct these thoughts and organize these thoughts to put them down on paper. For me, a lot of times, the bars are strung and threaded together. You know, once I come up with a line and I got that line perfected, in order for me to build onto the next line, I'm thinking about what I just said. I'm thinking about what I just said so that I can stay within the theme and kind of string it along to the next couple of bars, right? But to already know what you're going to say 8 bars later, your mind is thinking different. Your mind is thinking different. And so I'm like, did you come up with the YMW Melly line first, and then you went back and came up with the 8 bars later line second? Or did you just, I don't know. I don't know how you did that. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. The degree of the degree of difficulty to execute that is next level. That's some next level shit. And that's just an example. He does things like that all throughout this battle. There are Easter eggs in each and every song that he dropped so far that ties into something that he said previously. He's been doing that this entire battle. That's just one example. And he does that throughout his whole career, really, but he does it specifically on that Mr. Morale album. All of the songs are tied into each other somehow, some way. All throughout the album, it's like that. Yes. He said it's possible. Writing is like boxing. It's like setting traps. Exactly. Kendrick is a slow cooker. He's had this for some time and sat on it. Okay, I'm glad you said that, because that reminded me of something else I wanted to say. So right after Family Ties, it's not Family Ties, what's it called? Right after Family Matters drops, we get Meet the Grams. He wastes no time and drops another one after that. What's it called? What's the new one called? We not like that. Y'all not like that. What's it called? What's the new one called, y'all? I forgot. Not Like Us. Not Like Us. So not only did he not give Drake's song a chance to breathe, he didn't even give his own song a chance to breathe. Now, Meet the Grams, the last time I checked on YouTube, was over 10 million views. No. Was it Meet the Grams or was it Euphoria? Hold on. One of them records that he just dropped was already over 10 million views. He dropped the last couple exclusively on YouTube. And so he's running views up crazy with these joints. Hold on. Let me see real quick. And so this is all part of the strategy as well, from the business side of things and the numbers side of things. Him doing this, striking while the iron is hot. It's having the Cat Williams effect. The way Cat Williams was able to blow up. I got too many what's the names open. Let me close some of this shit. The way Cat Williams was able to blow up the Club Shay Shay channel. What Kendrick Lamar is doing is having the Cat Williams effect from a views standpoint. Some of these videos got millions and millions of views already. They're catching up to some of his videos that already been up for over a year or two. He got videos that been up for a year or two. Euphoria got 12 million views now. Thank you. 12 million views already. He's running it up like crazy. Why? Because he's making it so interesting that even if you wasn't even a fan, even if you wasn't even really tapped into what's going on, you don't want to be left out. People are getting FOMO, fear of missing out. They trended #1 for the last week on Twitter. Everybody's talking about it. They're seeing reactions all over TikTok. So the people who normally wouldn't even be tuned in, they're getting FOMO. They don't want to be left out. And that shit is running the numbers up. And so that's brilliant from a strategic standpoint as well. But what I wanted to say was initially, most people would think, okay, Kendrick Lamar had these songs in the tuck. He was waiting. He already had these songs ready to go. Because how you doing these songs that fast and mixing and mastering and all of that and putting it out that fast? But if you listen to some of the bars, he did these songs today. That new song, Not Like Us, he's responding directly to some of the bars on Family Matters. Go back and listen to it. He's responding directly to some of the bars in Family Matters, which proves he wrote that shit today. He wrote that shit, recorded it, had it mixed and mastered, and put that shit out today. Even if he was already working on it, it wasn't finished. Even if he had some of it that he was already working on, he added some shit to it today. He revised it today and put that shit out today. So the work ethic, the determination, the war readiness, I think he has the beat. Yeah, this one, the new one is a mustard beat. The Meet the Grams was a Alchemist beat. Euphoria had one of the producers from Taylor Swift. Even that was strategic because he was responding to the Taylor Made freestyle, and he got one of Taylor Swift's producers to produce on Euphoria. The titles of the songs, Euphoria, referring to the show that's executive produced by Drake, which has a theme of sexualizing young high schoolers. And he's calling this man all types of pedophiles and stuff like that. The the artwork, the album cover, not the album, but the song artwork with the gloves, with the pain pills, and all of this stuff. Everything that he's doing has double meanings to it. It's well thought out. Man, I'm thoroughly entertained. I'm very impressed by Kendrick Lamar. He has increased as far as I already had him ranked very high. I already knew that this man was incredible. I already been a big fan, but I have boosted him up even higher than I already had him. I don't know where I wanted to land just yet. I'm not sure. I gotta let it marinate and sizzle in my spirit a little more. But I really want to give this man a spot in my top 5. I really don't have a top 5. I only have a top 3. I never really had a top 5 because to me, it's too many people that I can fit in that 4th and 5th spot. So my top 3 is Nas, Jay-Z, and Tupac. Those 3 have already been solidified for me no matter what. You know what I'm saying? But that 4th and 5th spot is so many different MCs that can fit in there for me, just depending on, you know, how I want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to talk about Rakim, Scarface, Ice Cube, Biggie Smalls, LL, Slick Rick, Ghostface, you know, L Boogie. I feel that way about L Boogie. Like, there's so many MCs that I feel can fit within the 4th and 5th slot that I never really have a certified, solidified top 5. But the way I'm feeling right now about Kendrick Lamar, I damn near want to give this man that 4th spot. Not just because of this battle, but like I said, this battle caused me to go back and do that deep dive into Mr. Morale. And to have that many brilliant pieces, because one of the main things that I use for criteria with judging my favorite MCs is catalog. Now, when you look at his body of work, who in the world has this many classics? Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Mr. Morale, even the EP that he dropped after To Pimp a Butterfly, the Untitled joints, brilliant. Like, when it comes to projects, he don't miss. They're not just good, they're brilliant, they're masterpieces. There's not too many people that you can say every time they drop, it's a fucking masterpiece. You know what I mean? When it comes to catalogs like that, I feel that way about a lot of Kanye West work. But that's judged from a whole different standpoint. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really judging Kanye as an MC. You know what I'm saying? I just look at Kanye as like just one of the greatest artists of all time, one of the greatest visionaries of all time. And he knows how to produce and put together projects really, really well also. So he's one of my favorites, but not as an MC also. You know what I'm saying? I don't put him in that MC category. You know what I'm saying? But Kendrick is that type of MC along with producing all of these brilliant masterpieces. And so it's like I'm really leaning toward giving K-Dot that 4th spot. That's just how I feel at the moment. I'm not saying that's what it is. I gotta let the high go down a little bit before I make a decision. I don't like to make the decisions while I'm high. And right now I'm feeling the euphoria, pun intended. So I'm not gonna make a decision while the euphoria is over me. I'm gonna have to let it marinate. KRS-One. Love KRS-One. Absolutely. He could fit into the top 5. He's one of the people that I you know, often rotate in them 4th and 5th spots. Yes, I will say that. You like Doom like that? Okay. Let me hear some of y'all top 5s. If y'all got a top 5, let me hear some of y'all top 5s in the comment section. Jesse Perry said he got a top 5 and a top 10 and a top 20. Just let me hear your top 3. Oh, you say your top 3 is K Reno, Tupac, and Rakim. Kendrick Lamar hasn't been around long enough to be in my top 5 or top 10, maybe top 20 though. Okay. Good Kid, Mad City was my favorite. Good Kid, Mad City. I don't know if you guys ever heard this breakdown before, but when y'all listen to Kendrick Lamar's catalog, when y'all consider Kendrick Lamar's catalog, I want y'all to look at it from this perspective. Each project is a different form of media. Let me pull something up real quick. I'm about to get out of here in a minute. I've been on here for a while. Y'all been rocking with me for over 2 hours tonight. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share this joint out on your social media platforms. Please, if you are not already, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Let me log in here. Web player. Let me log in here. Hold on a second, y'all. Okay, continue. Log in. Let me go to his catalog because I want to show y'all something, and I want y'all to consider this when you listen to Kendrick Lamar's body of work. And this is stuff like this that kind of separates him. It's stuff like this that kind of, it's not just that he could rap good, that he makes good songs, but he's one of the greatest writers, just period. He's one of the greatest writers, not just in rap, just writers, period. I'm talking about that includes all journalists, that includes all poets, or authors, or any type of writer. He's at the very top. He's one of the greatest writers, for real, for real. And so when you consider this man's catalog, and I'm talking about the main studio albums that he put out, this is what I want y'all to consider. And some people consider Section 80 to be one of his albums. Some people just consider it to be a mixtape. I'm one of the people that can consider it as one of his albums. It's not his first. His first official release is Good Kid, Mad City, but I consider Section 80 to be an album also. Now, Section 80, this form of media, each one of his albums is a different form of media as a concept. This album right here, Section 80, it's a documentary. When you listen to it in its totality, it's a documentary about, you know, the neighborhood, growing up in the hood. It's a documentary that tells different stories about these people that exist within the confines of, you know, people living in Section 8 housing and just coming up in that type of environment, right? All the way through. When you listen to it all the way through, it's a documentary. It has even a documentary feel to it with the skits between some of the songs and all of that, with the guy that's talking, the filter that they used on his voice and everything. It comes across like a documentary form. Good Kid, Mad City, his first official industry release. This comes across as a movie. It's a story from beginning to end, and it's very cinematic. This is a movie. This is the form of media that this one is. It's a movie. Got the skits that tie everything in together. You know, it tells the whole story about him going out with his friends and getting high, and somebody lacing his blunts, and he trying to get with this girl Shireen, and you know, he gets burned, all type of shit. They doing burglaries and all type of shit going on within the story. You know, he's out with his mom's car and not bringing the car back, and mom and them calling him, trying to get the car back and all that shit. It's a movie. right? So Section 80 is a documentary. Good Kid, Mad City is a movie. To Pimp a Butterfly is a poem. From beginning to end, you get different parts of an actual poem with the I knew you was conflicted. Sometimes I did the same. That whole part that he gives you it piece by piece before he gives you the entire poem. All throughout the album, you get a different part of the poem that strings everything in together. So To Pimp a Butterfly is a poem. And then you get Damn, which is a magazine. Even when you look at the cover, it looks like a magazine cover. From the fonts to the way that the photo is shot, the coloring and everything like that, it looks like a magazine cover. And then the title of the songs, everything is one word. When you look at the title of the songs, everything is one word, like what do you call it? Like the topic of each article within the magazine. It's just one word. You know what I'm saying? Like the topic of each article within the magazine. And then he covers different topics and themes throughout. And also, this album, another brilliant thing about this album is it plays forwards and backwards. You could play this album from beginning to end, but you could also play it from the end to the beginning, and it tells a story both ways. So that's what I mean about the brilliance of his writing and his technique and his just the way he thinks about these concepts. It's very meticulous. And then you get Mr. Morale, which is a stage play. This is a musical. Like I said, you got what's my man name? Kodak Black doing the narration. You got the Big Steppers with the tap dancing and all that, and there's like I don't know if you want to call it a choir or like an opera who are singing this interlude all throughout the album that kind of strings it together, strings it along also. You got the different characters that are played. Like I said, everybody that's on the album, that's featured on the album, is playing a different character. He got Summer Walker and Ghostface Killer on there. He got the girl Taylor Page on there. Baby Keem, you know what I'm saying? And everything is strategic where everybody is placed and why they're placed there and how all of the songs tie in with each other to tell a story about him and his relationship and him going to get therapy and all of that stuff. So when y'all listen to Kendrick Lamar's catalog, I want y'all to consider it from that perspective also. You know what I mean? From For Free is a poem by itself, right? This dick ain't free. Yeah. The way he delivered that, it's like a spoken word poem within itself, right? But there's a poem that strings the whole album together about being conflicted and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Damn was dope. Hell yeah. On Mr. Morale, he was Democratic shilling on Mr. Morale. There was some themes on Mr. Morale that I didn't agree with. He was definitely a LGBTQ advocate on Mr. Morale. Didn't like that. The way he was wagging his finger at Black society. He criticized the delineation movement on Mr. Morale. I don't think a lot of people caught that. But there was a part on Mr. Morale where he was talking about scrolling online and he seen Black people arguing about who's blacker. That was a direct dig at the delineation movement and, us checking the tethers and all of that. That was a direct dig at that. I didn't like that. Something else that he was said on there. The Democratic shilling part, all his albums are like scenes to a play that are his life. I caught it, which is why I say he was shilling. Yeah, I don't know if that's. I didn't consider it democratic shilling. I didn't see him on some like what Common was doing. You know, Common was directly shilling for the Democrats. Common was talking about goddamn. He was talking about what's my man over there in Jersey? Cory Booker. He was talking about how bigging up Cory Booker and Kamala Harris and Ta-Nehisi Coates and you know, basically taking shots at the Republicans and Trump and all of that shit. He was doing some real direct shilling. Common was. Kendrick, I guess you could say that. I didn't take it that way. I just took it as him being out of touch. Sometimes that's the case. A lot of our people, we know people, we got people in our family, we got some friends that we know, co-workers and stuff that we know who are just really out of touch politically and socially with what needs to be done for us to progress as a people. And I kind of put him in that category when I heard some of the stuff that he was saying. Yeah, Common and Bigot Joe. Yeah. A lot of these guys, yeah. That type of shit. Yeah, there was a lot of that stuff going on. But yeah, man, so that's where we at with this battle. Like I said, we've been on here for over 2 hours, so I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys rocking with me this long. I knew this was gonna have to be a long broadcast. I'm gonna try to edit some of it and break it down into some micro content and put it out there. Also, if I don't be too lazy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wanted to get this shit off my chest, man. I've been thoroughly engaged and excited about what I've been seeing, this whole battle thing. I'm excited about hip hop right now. I'm excited about boxing right now. I'm excited about the NBA playoffs right now. You know, those are things that are going on for me in the entertainment world that I'm very pleased with, you know, what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing. And so you said no shots, he was growing. Yeah, I give people that too sometimes. I give people that too sometimes. People have the right to evolve. And I got that lesson really from Malcolm X. You know, Malcolm X warned us about that. You know what I'm saying? He said, you know, be careful about judging people who are basically in the position that you used to be in. You wasn't always in the position that you in. You wasn't always as knowledgeable and as conscious as you are today. You had to get woken up. You had to go on your own journey to arrive at the point where you are today. So don't be so quick to judge those who are not as evolved as you are. And I'm paraphrasing, but you know, that basically was the lesson that he was trying to give us too. And even on my recent album, the Master's Table album, shout out to the Black Dot on the song that we got together called 120 Lessons. He said a line on there, God, don't be so hard on the 85ers who behave erratic. The devil's just doing his job, and that's to enslave the masses. You know what I mean? And so I take heed to stuff like that, and I don't just throw everybody under the bus who is not, you know, where I feel like we need to be at as far as how we should be reacting to white supremacy in this day and time. But some people do need to get thrown under the bus. Some people know exactly what they're doing. They out here shilling on purpose. They out here cooning for butter biscuits, and those people deserve to get thrown under the bus. But I don't put everybody in that same category. I try to deal with it on a case-by-case basis. I didn't even know you was here, Star. What's going on, Star? Star said 120 Lessons is my favorite track. That's what's up. I didn't even know you was here. Star. Oh, you out there. You out there in California anyway, so I already know you rocking with Kendrick Lamar. That's one thing about y'all West Coast people. Y'all are biased as hell. Y'all West Coast people, y'all are the most biased motherfuckers on the planet. Y'all riding with the West no matter what. Kendrick could be getting his ass whooped right now. Y'all still gonna ride with him. So I respect y'all stay on code. Y'all stay on code with the West Coast artists. I can't be mad. Me, I ain't got no loyalty to no coast. I ain't got no loyalty to none of this shit. I'm gonna call it like I see it. You're gonna have to earn the victory as far as I'm concerned. You're going to have to take the crown. I ain't going to just give it to you. I don't give a damn. But anyway, man, let me get up out of here, man. What's today? Oh, yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Me and Nicety Girl, we'll be on here tomorrow. I want to say 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't hold me to it. But we're supposed to be coming on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to be covering some more current events and getting into some important topics as they pertain to what's going on in Black society. So you guys stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, me and Nicety will be in the building, getting it in like we always do. And so always remember, family, always remember and never forget, I am not the master teacher. I am only the master student and signal booster for the voices of the new Black media. With that being said, that does it for tonight's episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Peace and Black love.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.